trying to hit Red's main base to stop the double garage play that is happening by the Forge, to then having my base being attacked by the Forge with a carpet bomb as well, to then trying to hold off another huge attack with mass air by Decimus with Voridus as my teammate helping out, to then finally trying to get a counterattack going on Red's second base while a huge eradication comes down, and finally trying to avoid a scatter bomb and teleport on a base. But does it turn out well? Well, let's go ahead and hop into the game. 2 minutes in, we are going to go ahead and scout this Red Forge, and he is showing that he is going full economy. We do have a chopper to go ahead and work on that infantry that's getting those supplies, and I am going as raid camp. So I am playing as Atriox, dark blue is playing as Decimus, green is playing as Voridus, and we do have a Forge. Yellow is going to be, I believe, a Cassano or a Cutter, and orange is a Pavium if I'm not mistaken. So we're gonna hop to this point instead of just the early point, just because there's already a lot going on in this game and I want to go ahead and try and get right to the action. So Red is continuously trying to produce some Marines, and I'm trying to capitalize on trying to take out some of Red's units, because, you know, any units I make him spend and eliminate, that's better for me since he still is on one base. And I do have Hammer Bros coming in to try and reinforce this position, as well as some grunts. And now we're making an Atriox as well. So we're going to try and do some good work in this regards. And so those Marines have now shown up. Hammer Bros are going to come in for the stun for that Marine. And we're just going to keep this momentum going. We've just taken out 2 Marines right now. And now all of a sudden a red flag shows up. Red is already showing up with the garage at his mini base, which means he is at Tech 2. And we're not even there yet. Meanwhile, yellow was going after the node over there, but we do fortunately have a cleansing beam that is going down over there. And I'm trying to send my reinforcements over to this mini base to try and take it out, so then I can go after their main base as well. But I don't have that much power going on right now, and it's quite unfortunate in that regards. So I'm going to be stuck in this Tech 1 play for a little bit. And so we're going to get the grunt to go ahead and get the high ground. And now we're going to send our hammer brutes to see if we can do something about this over here. We're going to get a good ram in, at least tried to, and didn't really work out. And now we got our hammer bros coming in, and there's one garage that popped up, and here's a second garage. So we're going to Y move right away to try to use the barrage from the hammer bros, but they end up like missing entirely. So we got only a little bit of the base. And now we're going to try and focus down on these garages if possible. A turret is being made, but they already have Warhogs coming out, and my Atriox is going to be a little bit behind in this regards. We were able to get rid of a garage, which is pretty nice, and now we're going to focus down on this advanced generator if we can. But right now it's not really looking too hot in regards to this attack, so I'm going to go ahead and start retreating. And an enemy Atriox that's just showing up as well. Luckily it's a baby Trox, which means it is not being upgraded, but mines go down. So it turns out orange is actually Atriox and is not Pavium. I'm completely wrong there. And so we take the high ground and we're going to try and hold this position. But red with his Warhogs, he's actually ready to go elsewhere. He doesn't really care about my situation. So I'm going to go ahead and start making turrets to go ahead and deal with these Warhogs that are going to be coming my way, and see if I can go after the mini base at the bottom. Scratch that, we're going to send our hammer bros to go after the garage that's set up over here, and they have anti-infantry turrets set up. So all in all, this is not really a good situation, and we're finally getting the Tech 2 if we haven't done so already. And we're trying to get rid of the remainder of this advanced generator, trying to do as much damage as we can there. But here we go, the Warhog has shown up, Scatter Bomb is going down, so the turret that's being made is unfortunately not going to be in a good position. And so we're still getting that upgrade in order to go ahead and start making hunters, and I have to start retreating my Atriox, because this is just not a good position at all. Once again, I had that horrible habit of trying to make something out of nothing in regards to trying to make a turret in that top left area instead of the back right. So those Warhogs are targeting down the turrets. We do have restoration drone if we need it, but we are hurting very hard in regards to supply. And so I'm going to use my leader to try and cut off reinforcements if possible. But right now they're still coming pretty hard. A good vortex comes in. There's one Banshee trying to help out. And so now we're just going to try and hold off to the best of our ability. We do get some great stuns coming in from our hammer bros. clear out one Warhog, but drop turret does come down as well, which is also a little bit concerning, but it does look like we're going to hold off these Warhogs that are coming in on us, which is going to be pretty nice in this regard. So we did end up losing a lot though, because we end up losing practically our whole left side of the base. We don't have a raid camp anymore. We don't have supply depot going on, but we still have our 2 gens, which will always be pretty nice to have. And so now that I'm in this position, I need to go ahead and figure out what is the next play. But now yellow has shown up and a cleansing beam comes down. It's not really the best cleansing beam because Atriox was able to do some good work, and we're going to clear out the remainder of the reinforcements that are coming in with yellow. But as of right now, we're playing behind. I am on 1 base, light green is on 1 base, and dark blue is also on 1 base at this moment. So classic 1 base game that's going to be happening right now. We've had 2 of these so far this week, with this one being the second one. But like the other one, hey, I was able to get an expansion, but not this time around. So I'm going to go ahead and keep trying to make some hunters, just because red is showing pure vehicle play at the moment. So I want to see if I can go ahead and do something about it. And then I realized, whoa, I have a second war console being made. So let's go double raid camp so I can produce some stuff and upgrade my Atriox. And then red has shown up with their Warhogs coming in on my mini base, and it's going to be unfortunate because it turns out that war console being made on my base was actually a good idea. And so green Desi is going to show up just to try and protect my base in case red does show up. And we're going to go ahead and self-destruct what we have, and we're going to rebuild our war console because we need to upgrade our hero, and we're floating on a lot of power. So right now I'm trying to get my units positioned in a way such that if they show up, we will be able to do something about it. But Decimus is not even able to expand, and here we go. Red's Warhogs have shown up. Atriox is looking pretty good at this position as well. We're going to micro them a little bit more backwards in order to go ahead and take a little bit less damage. And then a Hellbringer drop comes down, and Atriox is still doing a great job trying to focus down these Wolverines. But then another scatter bomb is coming down, and the micro could have been better, but it wasn't. So we took a lot more damage than what we need be. And the Banshees are coming in as well. Voridus goo is coming in as well. And all of a sudden we got ourselves a drop by Cassano as well with a Vet 1 Flame Hog. We're trying to go ahead and retreat our leader if possible, but unfortunately he got eliminated. And now it's just green trying to defend the base. I do have 1 turret in the back, which is trying to do some work. We're trying to heal our raid camp so that way we can keep making some units. And it's getting very low, and with the hunters that are still alive, we're going to at least clear out the bottom, but we still have nothing to really clear out the top. So we're going to go ahead and upgrade our turret. We're going to get cleansing beam, and we're going to use this to try to clear out the remainder of the units that are here. Yes, the Desi is going to be able to help out, but we needed to use this cleansing to clear out the remainder of those hornets and push them back. And now dark blue is also sending a marauder to come help me out. So right now I'm holding the team back pretty badly right now, and things aren't really looking too hot, and I don't even have my leader. So we're playing a pretty behind game at this point, and yellow is already showing mass air, and we still don't know what Atriox is doing from orange. We haven't seen them in a while, honestly. And so we're getting these heals going, and yellow's still pressuring incredibly well, and I'm just stuck now trying to figure out what's going to be my play. And the way I'm thinking about this is I'm going to go ahead and just keep on making engineers to heal my army, because we're going to need longevity, and try to keep these hunters alive. So we immediately lose 1 engineer from the Wolverines, and so we're going to fall back a little bit. Voridus goo does come down. Atriox is showing up at the base as well. And so here they come. They're coming in for a big attack. Asano is here as well. All I have is hunters. A vortex lightning is coming down. Atriox is here to try and fight the issue. And green Desi is going to start dealing with the air. I'm going to have to find a way to start dealing with the ground. We have ourselves a great cleansing beam that's coming by Desi, getting rid of a lot of red units over here. Everything that's there is pretty much going to get destroyed from the cleansing beam, and then running straight into my Atriox with the hunters as well. So this is something that's incredibly nice to see. But now look at that. We have siege from the forge come down, and now I have no choice but to try and push this issue if possible. And so we're trying to focus down these Kodiaks if possible, There's lots of siege happening right now, and a smoke does come down to try and save it, but it just wasn't good enough. I'm trying to micro the hunters, but we weren't able to do so, and I told my leader, let's go back and try and kill at least the siege, because the siege is going to be a problem. We're going to bring our engineer to go ahead and heal at least the turret, and we ended up losing our hero before we were even able to take out that last Kodiak siege. So things are looking incredibly dire for us. Flamehogs are here, constant heals are coming in, but the Desi is coming in, getting hit by a cleansing, but he's going to help try to clear some of this out. And Dark Blue has shown up as well. Kasano's Y move is coming in, spreading that fire all over my base. It is hurting pretty hard, but we do have engineers that are healing the base, at least the turret, and we are starting to clear this out, and we're going to be able to push red back a little bit further, which is going to be pretty nice. Reavers are coming in to help deal with that, and then orange shows up with the mass air with the Atriox, and so now we got ourselves a very huge problem. Like, we're on one base, all of us, and so we have to figure out a way to be incredibly efficient, because look at all that air. That air is going to be a problem. They outnumber us incredibly, and so the question is, how are we going to go ahead and solve this problem, right? So green is just going to keep trying to see if there's any units that they can go ahead and kill with what they got, and he was able to at least get a Warhog without losing his Banshee, which is always pretty nice. And orange can't really push Dark Blue yet, mainly because of the fact that there's a lot of anti-infantry turrets with fortification going on over there. And meanwhile, over here, I'm finally getting fortification, and I don't even have a shield gen. I don't even have my infantry ranked up yet. And so things are looking not too hot for me as a whole and for our team, but we do have a little bit of an army, and we can at least play defensively and hope that they can make mistakes when they're trying to push and attack us. And so the plan is just to keep trying to hold to the best of my ability, and there we go. We took out a Wolverine. Any unit we take out is a plus at this point. And so I am going to self-destruct the sensor tower in order to go ahead and start thinking about getting a shield gen down the line. Dark Blue is able to push back yellow, which is always pretty nice to see. And now I'm starting to get my upgrades. Air level 1 is going to start, or at least air level 2. And then raid camp level 1, infantry level 1, which is pretty nice as well. And this one engineer has one job to go ahead and try and heal everything as possible. We're going to go ahead and self-destruct our raid camp. Our war console, mainly because we're not going to get the Tech 3 anytime soon. And speaking of that, here comes the scatter bomb. Engineer is going to come in with the Y move for a damage reduction, and now we're going to have to try and hold this off to the best of my ability. I lost the engineer that's here, but we are at least getting rid of the drop that happened with Kasano. Shield gen comes in at the perfect time, and now all of a sudden orange is Desi. Air is showing up. Voridus comes in with a great ability to bring everybody together. I'm getting tongue-tied here because a cleansing beam is going to go ahead and follow. It's going to start getting rid of all these Banshees. Double cleansing comes down. We're working on clearing everything out over there, and here's red trying to reduce the remainder units here. So all my buildings are hurting pretty badly right now, but we haven't lost any buildings nevertheless, and we are destroying a lot of units as a whole. And our Desi is able to push back red entirely. Orange came in with the flank to help kill some units that were associated with what was left over. And so all in all, this was a very efficient hold. It did come at a cost. I did lose one gen, but we are going to go ahead and rebuild that. So we're not entirely in a tough spot. Who am I kidding? We're in a pretty bad spot, but we're going to try and make the most of it nevertheless. Another engineer is going to come out to try and heal everything. We did lose one infantry that was, one turret that was in charge of rebuilding everything, but it just hasn't happened yet. And so now we're going to start working towards the next phase, right? We need to continue to be efficient. We have the shield gen up. Now it's about trying to get a large army to survive. Because we have the shield gen, it's going to be a little bit harder to go ahead and engage on us. We are going to get that turret up. We have fortification level 2 up. We're making more hunters. We're getting engineers to heal our stuff. And I'm making the grunt to see if I can go ahead and capture some of these nodes, because the fact that they have all these nodes, that's all that extra power. And Dark Blue was trying to go for an attack against Atriox, and unfortunately he was unable to. But if you pay very close attention right now, Orange has 3 bases. Yellow has 2 bases and red has 2 bases. And so right now the strong side is orange's side, and so that's an area that we may not try to push later on down the edge, down the game, but we're gonna see if that's something even worth considering or not down the line. So with the hunters that I have, we're here trying to get rid of as much units as we can. We do see some more level 1 Kodiaks coming in, and this is going to be our cue to try and take out the Kodiaks, so then we can at least clear up some of these units that are showing up here. And I think we're doing a great job so far. We've cleared up a lot for just 2 hunters out of here, and then there's a big drop coming in. Is this the one with the scorpion tanks? Scorpion tanks are going to be coming down, or grizzly tanks, and so we're going to go for a full scale retreat right now. And it does look like green dusty is coming in to help us out, and this is not something that they're going to be easily able to push, mainly because they don't really have the anti-air whatsoever. So this is going to be a nice opportunity for us to get some free damage kills. And even though there's a couple hornets showing up by yellow, there's really not much here that can really fight this Desi air that's happening right now. So right now things are looking good. Decimus is looking to throw down a vortex to try to get rid of that anti-air. I'm going to go ahead and help push to get rid of some of these tanks as well, to go ahead and push them back. We were able to capture one of the nodes, and those grunts immediately got annihilated afterwards, so we won't be able to capture anything for a bit. But we are looking very good in regards to just trying to get a good push. We finally pushed red back just a little bit, and now we can start clearing out a base, and we were able to take out a hero. The Forge Hog just showed up out of nowhere. And so now Atriox is chilling over there at the top, and so that's something that I won't be able to engage, but the Desi Air will be able to engage, and then I'll show up with my Atriox to help deal some additional damage there. So we're starting to get a larger army. We're starting to get some momentum. Atriox is going to go ahead and get on that high ground garrison, so we can start doing some more damage towards the units that are there. And red is now showing up with a bunch of Wolverines. Was thinking about using the cleansing, but I chose to save it just because we have that combination with Voridus, like what you saw earlier. And so we're just going to sit up here, heal our units, and keep on chipping against the enemy to the best of our ability. And speaking of which, a big attack is starting to come down. A eradication is coming down, and it misses some of Blue's units. And here comes the combo once again, a level 2 beam, and some hornets come into it as well. All of this is just getting destroyed with a great wombo combo coming in, and we reset a lot of the population. Blue looks like he'll be able to go ahead and hold off the rest of it. Atriox Burox comes in by me as well somehow. I don't even remember doing that, but I ended up doing it. And so now we have another position that we're going to need to hold off from red, but it's really nothing but Wolverines. It's nothing that's really too threatening to us. This is something that we can fight pretty well. We just have to keep our air away from it. And so blue was able to have a good hold on his side and stop any other push on his main base. We're all still on one base, and I'm finally establishing a second base. We're going to start pushing with Atriox to see if we can take out red space. We're going to make some hammer bros to also get some good anti-building coming in. And so now we're working on killing red's base. Things are looking a little bit better for us. Desi is starting to get a second base as well. It looks like we have weathered the storm, and now it's time for us to start getting better control of this game. So the hunters are not targeting down the base. They're hitting multiple different structures, and that's a little bit unfortunate in that regard. Dark Blue pretty much lost everything in regards to base defenses, so he's going to have to rebuild that back up. But now I'm trying to focus down that base to the best of my ability, continue to make shrouds, because we know Ford does have the ability to go ahead and make some siege if they need to with that later ability. And so red's base is almost coming down. Orange is now hitting Decimus' second base, and we're going to try and close in on that. But red is showing up as well with some Wolverines, but dark blue is going to be there to try and do something about that as well. I'm going to go ahead and keep on pushing just a little bit further, just because red and orange is over there. It does look like a good engagement nevertheless, just because we have Reavers there, and we do have the Desi Banshee able to fight off their air as well. So as long as the Desi is not taking engagements against the Wolverines, then it's going to be a good engagement nevertheless. But unfortunately, Desi did end up losing his second base because of it. And now I'm going to go ahead and send Hammer Bros to see if I can do something about this. Scatter Bomb comes in, trying to teleport to make sure I don't lose additional units. And now red is starting to show air as well. I thought this teleport was a good idea, but it really wasn't. So now I'm going to start getting a foundry because of the fact that red is showing some air. We're going to go ahead and retreat with what we have. We got full pop, which is incredibly nice. And now because of that, I'm going to go ahead and get an eradication. Even though I can't really afford it, it's something that I will hold on to and try and see if I can do anything about it. But this second base is looking pretty good, and we're going to start focusing on this Kasano. We do have some units that we can fight with. We're going to use a Hammer Bros to go ahead and try and stun and surround it. But there are vultures here as well, and they're going to get ready to do some Y moves. We have a great Vortex Lightning that's coming in, and we're trying to focus down the Kasano. And we are doing a great job trying to take it out, and Atriox Burox comes in as well, and Yellow's Desi. I mean, our Desi is showing up to try and do some work here as well, but I am doing a full-scale retreat at this point. There's no way I'm going to be able to defend this, and Desi's just here to provide cover fire to help us go ahead and get that retreat that we need, because this is not an engagement. You got some Hornets, you got some Wolverines, and Desi knows this, provided the cover fire, so then we can go ahead and get that retreat. And so now I'm going to start making some Reavers just because I'm seeing even more air come in play than ever before. We will still think about making some engineers or shrouds if need be. Dark Blue is finally solidifying his defense, getting the shrouds, getting everything he needs for that, which is looking pretty nice in that regards. But we still have a little bit of ways to go in order to see if we can do something about this. And as I mentioned before, this is starting to come full circle because orange has 3 bases, red only has 2, and we took out his second base. So if there's anyone hurting, if there's any lane that's pretty weak right now, it is red's lane. And so I'm going to have to figure out how to go ahead and take advantage of this and seal the deal on this lane if possible. And speaking of which, orange is showing up on this lane on my side again, and yellow is starting to think of trying to use their vultures to go ahead and do some Y moves. We don't know where they're going just yet. I can take red one-on-one at this point. I am good enough. But yellow is still showing signs of aggression and trying to go after green's Desi's base while I'm here trying to hold off red to the best of my ability. And so Desi's still chilling around my main base in order to see what will be the best move. He did lose the second base, unfortunately, and now I'm going to go ahead and try and push this matter. I think this is a fight that I can win, and any units that I kill here is going to help out because remember, red is on 1 base, and now there's a huge fight coming in right here. But we have ourselves another wombo combo with Cataclysm, level 2 beam, and everything's all grouped together. Look at all that supply just get destroyed and wasted, all those rates getting damaged. And so this huge attack that was supposed to come in by orange and yellow all together, they end up losing so much from that wombo combo that ended up coming down. And so now it's time for us to see if I can get the momentum on this side, because I know red's hurting. I know I have momentum in regards to the army comp, and so we're going to try and fight this to the best of our ability. Hammer Bros are going to come down, but the tanks are also coming down as well. We're going to get ready to drop a heal if possible because we have to go ahead and take out these tanks. And we're trying to go ahead and get as much damage as we can, use the engineers because we have a lot of supply. And we're trying to clear out the remainder of those tanks, but at this point we won't be able to. We're going to have to retreat. But a level 3 beam is going to come down. It's going to also clear out a lot of red units. And on top of that, we're getting rid of the 2 Scorpion tanks, well, the 3 Grizzly tanks that have shown up. And this was huge because we were able to now reset red. And red is on 1 base. Yellow is now showing up with 2 vultures, but we have Decimus showing up with the mass air, dealing with the vultures. This is looking very good for us. So now we're getting a lot more momentum, and once again we can go ahead and attack from different various locations if we choose to be. But as I mentioned before, I believe the left side would be the best side because of the fact that red is on 1 base. Even if orange is supplying red resources, it is a detriment for them by doing so. So I'm going to keep making units. I'm going to keep streamlining this reinforcement. Dark Blue pinged to go ahead and say hey, let's hit orange's base, but I pinged instead to say hey, we're gonna hit red's base instead because I feel like he is the weaker link, and that's the side for us to go ahead and hit. And so there we go. Kodiaks are set up at the top, and just like what I mentioned, he's spent a lot of resources on these drops as a whole, and he must be hurting with supply if he's not already. So these Kodiaks are going to get eliminated right away. Dark blue is pinging to let us know that, hey, orange is looking to do another big attack. And so I do have an eradication, and I have to make sure I don't spend all my resources so I can go ahead and have enough to use that eradication. So from here on out, I have the power. I'm going to use any additional powers to make Reavers, and we're going to go ahead and see if we can get ourselves a good push going. And here we go. This is Red's last base. We're here to try to pressure to the best of our ability. Reavers are here to get rid of the Nightingales. There are Forge Hog that is showing up as well, but that's something that we can easily take out as well with our Atriox. He's level 1, and he's going to be able to take that out with the Hunter and the Atriox that is there. And now there's going to be a big attack. Here comes the double that's going to be happening on blue. I'm trying to get a little bit of supply so I can have the eradication. I'm holding on to the resources. I just need a little bit more supply. I thought I can cancel something, but I cannot. But we're going to go ahead and put an eradication right onto yellow before he can go ahead and turn around and do anything. And we are able to destroy some of yellow's units. I'm pinging to let my teammate know, hey, I'm going to start going after yellow's base at the top. And because of the cloaking gen, and we were able to get rid of the detect, or at least dark blue was, he's going to be able to push that back entirely. And now at this point, yellow ends up self-destructing and leaving the game. And now look at that, we ended up making a great comeback game all on one base, and we were able to come back from this. This was a very, very tough climb, but it was a good climb nevertheless. And this all came off of a failed attack when Forge went the double Warhog at the very beginning with the garage play. So I am playing as Atriox. I went 67 for 107. Apple Pie played as Voridus, 52 for 117. Gingerbread Man went 52 for 113 as Decimus. Forge is red. Tina Loda went 117 for 72. Bookable 106228 went 131 for 56. Did definitely make the most units and the most leader powers for sure with all those drops. And Ayuchi Felipe 710 went 89 for 43. Our efficiency game is what won us the game. They practically doubled, if not tripled, some of our economy as a whole, with orange sitting on the 3 bases for a really long time. And so with that being said, I hope you enjoy. This was a very cool game to show. Hope you enjoyed it. Another huge comeback, another huge game, long game. And so with that being said, leave a like, a subscribe, or comment if you enjoyed the video. If not, it's all good, no worries. I'm also going to try and be a little bit more suave and, you know, put in my plug a little bit early on, but it's a little bit hard to do so because of the fact that I get so invested in the games that I'm playing and what I'm commentating. And so I hope that you get that same passion that I get when I go ahead and commentate these videos. So with that being said, have yourself a good one, a splendid one, stay awesome, and until next time, I'm out.